Kenya women footballers have raised concerns over poor playing surfaces and inconsistent officiating in the country's women's Premier League. One of the players have argued that the conditions they are asked to play on do not reflect the value of women's football and put their safety and performance at risk. We normally sit here, Hesbon and Queen Nikki, and we talk about the state of the fields when we talk about the FKF. And people quite ignore that, you know what, we also have a women's league in Kenya. And they are subjected to even worse because, you know what, just like in many other leagues, not only in Africa but across the world, the women's side of the league is normally disregarded. It's normally put as a second foot. Sawa, in terms of payments, I mean, we have seen Douglas Luiz and his wife coming out and saying, we play football together. He earns 100% to 200% more than me, yet it's the same sport. But now we're talking about structures. And she emphasized that despite giving their all on the pitch, the lack of proper venues and quality refereeing, and not only that but also payments, undermines the growth of the game. She's calling out for fair standards, including safe pitches, competent officiating, and respect for athletes. Hesbon.
I saw this story and it's very sad. You know, how did I find myself watching Kenyan football? Nearly watch. My first game was a women's game. That was I think the junior starlets, the rising starlets, the under 20 back then. And now when I'm seeing Esse Akida, who's one of the most distinguished and decorated female players we have in Kenya, crying out loud because of these pitches that they're playing on. Unajua these pitches are worse, far much worse than your local primary school pitch. They look terrible. You can't play football in such level of pitches.
My question is why are they not sharing the same venues?
That's the issue, because you
like
see,
an early kickoff for the ladies or a kickoff after the FKF, one of them. Why not sharing the same pitches?
You know, the problem is the respect of the game when it comes to female athletes. So in your mind you feel like madem atawezi uza game, so let's just put them anywhere our chairs, because you have to comply with FIFA's rules.
As long as you have
need
the
a
women's
female
league.
team. See, it's FIFA's rules. You have to have a female team.
But we go on disregarding this. I mean, first of all, that shameless thought that ladies cannot sell out a stadium. The Women's World Cup, Twickenham.
That was rugby.
Ilienda mapema. How many? A month or 2 months?
A month or 2 months
before the
kickoff.
But we're going far. Let's not even go to rugby. If Barcelona is playing right now in Camp Nou, AJ?
In a jar.
Kwanza Wolfsburg women fill the stadium more than the men.
Talking about successes, and this will sting some people. I mean, Arsenal women's team.
Yes.
I've won the Champions League.
Norway.
But even bring it home.
Norway. The women's team now is like us Harambee Starlets. Norway women's team has won the World Cup more than the men can even think about it.
They can only dream. Even when you bring it home and think about it, which team has taken us to the World Cup? The under 17 women's team. Hawa ni watoi. Imagine this is the senior most league. Wanacheza kwa pitch inaka terrible. Nakwambia even your local primary school has better pitch. Ile kuko deep in Narok iko na better pitch.
Nilisomea inaitwa Narok Academy. Unasema Narok Academy iko na better pitch.
Imagine, unajua the issue is, I don't know if FKF walifanya, because you see they're supposed to review the pitches and look at the standards if they're meeting the standards. These are not the standards that are supposed to be set for the top Kenyan Women Premier League. And this season they're playing beautiful football. Kuna competition in the league. These are women who are supposed to play in the WAFCON that's coming in around 60 days or so.
That's what I'm saying. Share the pitches. Kama mnasema annex Madare versus Morangasil. Before that game, can we have the ladies game going on? If not that, after the game.
And you see, it's very sad.
There's no way, I'm sorry to say this, there's no way, without due respect to Kariobangi Sharks and APS Bomet, wanachezea annex, and then ladies that are going to represent Kenya globally wanapewa Kavaringo. Ulisema yenyu ni gani ile ulikuwa unasoma? Kavirondo High School, I mean school, whatever. Come on now.
But imagine the saddest bit is the teams, the women Premier League teams, the Kenya Women Premier League teams does now. You see, Esse Akida raised these alafu the women's team ndio inambanta, because this is Trinity Starlets Football Club. They were hosting the team yenye Esse Akida anachezea, walikuwa namwambia sasa wewe kuuza chance ya kufunga bao open goal unakuja kuwekelea uwanja. Kama ungefunga hiyo bao ungekuja kuongelea kiwanja. Wewe cheza ball, mambo ya bloggers achana nayo. Hii Kenya yetu sahi kuna ukame.
No, but you have
you see the problem is that
once
you become an admin,
thinking, yeah.
once you become a keyboard warrior, are you listening to what she's
By the
saying?
way,
But imagine this is a team in the Kenyan Women Premier League.
I'm very concerned about the fact that a team is responding. That means maybe it might be just the individual who's managing this team aja change
Amesahau kuswitch accounts.
aja switch accounts.
But this is so wrong because hawezi kuwa someone is demanding better for the whole league.
For the whole
Everyone.
league.
Everyone. Alafu uko hapo unamwambia wewe tulia.
You remember the time that we were sitting here saying
It's a
about
bad
Kayole Starlets that when they won the Premier League walipigiwa makofi.
Eh,
Story
eh.
kaisha hivyo.
Kayole Starlets by the travel to Kisumu this weekend. Hii weekend imepita. Na you could see the pitch pia ni terrible in Kisumu, very bad pitch.
And this makes the players more prone to injury regardless of your gender. Let's put your gender aside.
Please,
even if
yeah,
a
say
man
that
is
regardless
playing
of the gender, yeah.
there, you're subjecting them to more injuries.
Why do you think, because hata NSL haichezwi kwa such pitch, why
shameful.
are we thinking like the women's league? Unajua, alafu the issue is we're not shedding so much light on it. Watu wanataka kuifungia macho, but when it comes to our under 20 have taken us to the World Cup, we are all over the place, very happy and proud about it. But when they're going through this, we are not talking about it.
And then the officiating.
And then there is officiating.
Mnakosea how heshima, because again genders zinaingia hapa. You're a lady, you know, come on.
It's that thing of because you're required to have. It's a requirement now.
Because
It
you
is a
have
requirement, you have to. So unatengeneza tu just for the sake of it.
So
You
we're
see-
just checking off boxes.
Yes,
You see,
basically.
there is the CAF regulations that require each and every single team in the Kenyan Premier League to have a women's team. So what teams did ni walienda wakaangalia teams ziko mtaani and nini wakasign an agreement to just for the sake of it kuonekana wako na women's team. And that's so sad because I remember there was some time FC Leopards women, the women's team, walikuwa wana struggle, they couldn't honor any matches. The players were suffering, hawako wanalipwa. I remember there's a story ya Mombasa United, the ladies walikuwa nalala in a shanky, in a mabati house, hawana food, walikuwa wameka almost a week. And I remember wakeka video online, hawana food. That was a team participating in the WNSL. It was sad. Yani the state of women's football in Kenya, when you think about it, considering the success that they have, say wanaweka wako WAFCON, we have our under 20 on Friday, and I think fans should come and watch the game. It will be very beautiful football on Saturday, pale Ulinzi Complex. They are challenging to be in the under 20 World Cup that's coming this year. The under 17 will be participating at around hapo katikati ya mwaka to be in the under 17 World Cup. Think about it. Think about the success that these women bring to our nation.
And then this is the same ladies who are looking at other disciplines of sports in Kenya. For example, tennis. Wanaangalia Okutoi, how she's being celebrated, how the government is coming out praising everything that is happening with that young lady.
But you see, the thing
and yet,
is,
these other guys are on the verge of taking you possibly to the World Cup. Nata kuna mtu anaangalia.
But Joe,
kuna mtu anaangalia hiyo league.
Ata Akutoi herself, there was a tweet that she tweeted about support.
Juzi tu kwanza, she was crying out for support because it's expensive for you to travel, participate in this, because there is an amount of money they're supposed to pay to participate in these tournaments at tennis. You can imagine she was crying out to the government for someone to help her. This is Okutoi, but when she brings success, we are everywhere. Congratulations, we are seeing government officials. Congratulations.
Come to State House. Come, we see you.
This is
you remember even Akina Faith and the Beatrice Tebet wakisema they don't have training facilities.
Yeah.
We were here. We were here with she keeps slipping her name, a hockey player. She was here with
us. You remember
Maureen telling us about deplorable facilities are. Yet they are
winning things out of the country.
The Lakers team, you remember juzi tukiongelelea ni the hockey team traveled by bus na wakaenda wakashinda the African Championship.
It is sad.
Our numbers, Joe.
0733222105. That's our WhatsApp number. Also, you can call us through 0748999111. This is a sad state of affairs. This is my opinion, and this is solely Joe Saina's opinion. It has nothing to do with Sport FM. It has nothing to do with Queen Nikki and Hesbon. If we want to change things, we have to make a stand.
Yeah.
And I call upon the other side, the male teams. you know, we keep on talking about them every day here in the FKF League. Let us say one weekend we're not playing. Sisi wote. In support of the ladies league.
And you know it'll
work.
Wonder
what will happen.
You know it'll work because it reminds me of a time.
Stakeholders wakai chini waseme this is serious.
Because those stakeholders, they were having a meeting yesterday. They were supposed to launch Kenya something league. You're launching another. You see,
you're launching.
You want to launch another league while these ones are struggling. The ones that you have currently are struggling, and you're investing almost 620 million in a league. Kwa sababu I don't know. I think they're playing politics. Because how do you? Pesa ukichukua tu even 40 million and place it in the women's
right
league
now globally
Atile FKF Cup I can support you, scrap it.
Now you
but
see
to
the logic. Cause
no but let me tell you one thing that I think corporates need to understand. If you look right now globally, there's a surge in women's football, women's sports generally.
Yeah,
so most corporates are investing in women's sports now because in the next 5 to 10 years hiyo pesa yenye unafikiri utaweza invest, it will be too little. This is the time for you to actually, for corporates, and this is a cry to corporates, for you actually to actually look at women's football in Kenya. I mean, the success is there. They've gone further.
The success is there.
Invest in it.
Yes, you're telling them to invest in it, but yet they're looking at the federation and wondering.
No, the federation needs to allow.
Thereby, I'm not seeing the federation running the women's side of sports or football the right way.
Unajua uzuri, at the end of the day, mimi as a corporate neza kuja niseme Kayole Stars sasa ni team yangu, and you can't dictate how I do things as long as they go according to the rules and the regulations in terms of the facilities at the end of the day. And this is the time because women's sports is ripe. This is the time for you to invest in it.
Look at even our Kenyan Lionesses when it comes to rugby. What are they doing? They're doing impressively well. When you think about every discipline in sports that our women are participating in, they're excelling. Malkia strikers in volleyball, they outshine our men every single time. Just think about it. Every discipline when it comes to sports and our women are participating, they are excelling. Corporate will come out, like Nicolette has said. You cannot just sit there and watch our women take us to the World Cup and you're just comfortable. Come out, sponsor our teams. Alafu FKF cannot come out alafu anda kustart another league. Yes, we love the northern part, the southern part, nini participate.
Start banning into women's football.
Kitu uko nayo kwanza haiwork. Mbona unaongezea stress nyingine? Hii yenye uko nayo kwanza make it work. The people see success in it. When they see success in it, they will be attracted to it. It's simple logic.
We're calling out on FKF to respond to us on this matter. Let's have a sit down. Let's have a representative with us. Let's have this conversation. Because at the end of the day, plan?
What's the plan for?
There has to be a plan for women's football in Kenya. There's no way, man. Under hardships, these guys are just becoming diamonds. With all these things coming up, yet they're succeeding. I mean, it's a far cry from them. And then one comes out, and then that person.
Whoever is running that Trinity, account, by the way, it's extremely embarrassing.
No, if it happens to them, they'll go back and write, pictures are not right, that's why tukupate your goal. Yet a couple of weeks ago mlienjoy mtu mwenye alikama akasema we having sorry state of facilities affairs in Kenya.
Niliona ibadi hadi unachoka akili, because imagine how does a club
Also, Trinity, come out and talk to us at Sporty FM. Our numbers are WhatsApp 0733222105, 0748999111 is our number. You can call us through. Tell us, who was that writing that tweet? Yet this lady is calling out for support for ladies football
generally.
Because she's traveled, she's played in one of the best leagues.
Yeah.
She's traveled, she knows the quality that you're supposed to be playing in. Atufai kwa tunacheza cause ball hawezi niambia jo unaweza cheza ball kwa kuna mawe pasa itaenda. Mama, imagine when you get tackled in a place kama hiyo unaumia. Even our men can't play in such state. Alafu when someone raises it una feel I'm entitled enough cause why are we doing this? It's sad, man.
It's funny when we raise anything to do with the male side of the league, actions almost happen or even we get responses.
And you know, there's something that our producers reminded me. Yesterday, we were calling Esse Akida because she's the one that raised it. And she can't talk about it openly because they're blackmailing her already. Wanampiga vita sasa hivi baya sana because she raised it. Now she can't even talk to us, to the media, because anaogopa because sasa hivi mshamweka in a very bad place kwa sababu anajaribu ku raise the standard ya the league palituko. it's sad.
Is she being selfish about it?
No.
She's being selfish
But
about it.
she's being honest. I mean, come on. Again, I'm saying such a pitch. I mean, you can go and check on Facebook. I may post up. Such a pitch is just it's an injury trap. Literally, it is. And yet, we have women across this league who need to go and represent Kenya in the WAFCON. They need to go and represent Kenya in the World Cup qualifiers. They have a lot right now that's on their plate.
Fine, FKF, if you see that, you know what, it is an issue bringing up, you know, again, standards to where they're supposed to be, then link up with schools. Set up the league for the ladies, whereby they can play in schools, whereby there are pitches that are right, everything that is okay.
Because there are a lot of government institutions actually that can host such games.
Yeah.
There is the Kenya School of Law, wako na very beautiful pitch. Kuna Kenya Academy, Nairobi School
hapa patch.
Hata enda Lenana, ongea na Lenana, wako na different pitches. Enda
Mangu hapo rugby, wanachainingi Lenana School.
Enda Kenya School of Government, wako na very beautiful pitch. We can mention them so many tunaweza zitoa hivi tuzieke. Angalia hata enda mimi uko na football pitch wanaweza chezea.
Enda Moi Forces Academy.
Enda Moi Forces MFA.
Yes, MFA. If you don't want to have a conversation
enda hata Dagoretti High School.
Yes.
Wako na kiwanja. We can mention hivi list yenye imejaa almost 20 schools that have better pitches.
10 venues in Nairobi on its own.
Just for the women's league, kwa sababu ni kama meamua kuiachilia. Just try and talk to schools because hawatakata
to host them.
Hawatakata.
It's mental. It's really mental. 0733222105 is our WhatsApp number. You can call us through 0748999111. FKF, what is your response to Esse? She cannot be claiming this maneno. She cannot be chasing clout when she's concerned about the league for the ladies. For the likes of Trinity, mnatetewa, kuna mtu anatoka nje anaongea about the grievances of the whole league. Nyinyi mko so stuck up in stupid responses.
Hata wako relegated. Nah,
man. This is our time to help Kenyan sports. Politics itakuja. Investments, all these things will be there. But can we at least get something that makes us not think about all the troubles we're going through, and we can play a game of football, a game of basketball, a game of hockey, a game of tennis, both genders represented equally.
And we've not even touched on the salary issue, because that's another big debacle that we can talk about it and bring players here and they will shed tears. Because I remember last season, I think I was telling you guys, last season Kayole Starlets, particularly.
Actually, let's go with that.
Because last season I had a friend who was playing there. The whole season, 11 months, 0 shillings.
What do you mean 11 months or lipwe?
0 shillings. And you know the issue, the good thing about Kayole Starlets is though hawakulipi for the clubhouse, alafu the league even is not even.
When is the last time tulika hapa tukaongea about male teams not being paid?
We talk about it because
Sofapaka being paid.
Sofapaka have not been paid. Posta Rangers have not been paid. They're surviving on allowances, and it's something that's known out there. What have you said? They're surviving on allowances.
Are there allowances there?
Are there allowances
too?
Kwa Kayole Starlets.
Na cheers.
I mean, corporates, yes, you guys want to sponsor a cup for about 60 million shillings or whatever amount it is, 90 million shillings. Corporates, you want to come in and support the league and even pump in close to 100 million shillings. Come on. Let's grow something that will even be encouraging to the future. That will even, future standards will be like, you see that corporate? It stood up with us.
Yeah, and a club
that
like
corporate brought in dreadful investments, and here we are representing Kenya in the World Cup as ladies or as gentlemen. In terms of salaries, I'm talking on both sides. It is quite unfair. It is very unfair. Yet we are here, we sit down, we bash officiating and goalkeeping decisions and player decisions.
At officiating hawajalipwa.
Skia.
Hawajalipwa for several match weeks, and
these are official match official.
But what I'm not understanding is how are they getting away with all this?
How are they getting away with all this?
Because we need the international footballing bodies to intervene at this point. Because you see, even with the men, I remember, I think it's only once a Gor Mahia player wrote a letter to FIFA. There was a Gor Mahia player, I think it was a Rwandese guy.
You see the issue with the men or with our players, if the moment they come out and call for, they demand their salaries and all that, they're blacklisted. Where will they play in our league ever again?
But
you
you're
see, that's
going
the
to
sad
blacklist.
bit.
You're going to blacklist when it comes to the women's team. Then you're going to blacklist the entire league, if that's the case.
Because if they say this weekend, we as the ladies of the Premier League, of the FKF Premier
If they
League,
unite,
if they say this week you're not playing, and then they get 2 heavyweight clubs or 3 heavyweight clubs in the FKF Premier League for the men joining them, bro, changes will happen.
And you see, we have to look at the good side of it, because I
Not-
think the good side of it is there's only one club that is paying their players perfectly, and that's Kenya Police Bullets.
Why?
We know.
Taxpayers' money.
We know
I
why.
was about to say sisi ndo tunalipa.
Taxpayers' money.
Because them they're paying a player. You know, when you compare the female side, the women's side, a player getting almost 120,000. Kenya Police Bullets pay
Na
that
kuna
amount
mtu
of money.
analala ati kwa mabati
Imagine.
11 months ajalipwa. Then why I would even ask now, even beyond the federation, can the government step in and say, you know what, taxpayers money that goes to, for example, Kenya Police Bullets, let's divide it in all clubs. Sisi basi, let us be the official then
They
sponsors
can never
of
do
the
that.
league. The Kenyans,
Oh,
taxpayer.
yeah, they sponsor the league as the Ministry of Youth
Yes.
and Sports.
So taxes zangu, taxes zako, taxes za Nicolette
Tuamue tu hii Kenya Women Premier League ni sisi tunaisponsor.
ilipwe na taxpayers. Tufunge hiyo hesabu.
Kuliko kwenda kuspend money on a stadium yenye utamaliza. Eka hii pesa hapa tu pale tunaona our girls wana excel. Imagine unaona a player wa Kenya Women Premier League ana drive Mercedes Benz yake. How does it feel?
Akona nyumba yake,
amelipa rent, akona familia, ameweka kila mtu vizuri.
If it's my tax paying money, because
you feel good,
we're talking about affordable housing,
Yeah.
whereby I'm paying my taxes to provide affordable housing. It makes me feel good that someone is getting a place to stay because of my taxes.
Exactly.
Sawa. Then can also our sporting side enye imeshindwa kuraniwa vizuri be taken up by the government. Tuseme basi sawa. With also affordable housing, also our sporting infrastructure itoke kwa taxes zetu.
Wouldn't you want your daughter to play football if you see that?
Because I know my taxes.
Because you know, hey, it's a successful career. Now imagine after the game a player anakuambia, "Hey Joe man, uko na swapo nitumie."
Mtu amekusukumia 90 plus minutes plus an injury.
Uko na swapo nitumie. Tulikula tu ndizi ndio tukam game.
Na umelipa entrance fee.
Hey, that is so shameful.
It hurts.
It's so
I used to go to games.
Ebu goja by the
Unasikia-
0733222105 is our WhatsApp number, and also call us through 0748999111. Do you think that would be a very good idea whereby, you know what, gava ichukue over our tax money enye inasaidia pia affordable housing, inasaidia pia health na nini, ingie into sports matters, especially for the women's league? Kuiniki, I've given up on hata sikujua itatokea hivyo. What do you think about such a suggestion?
I think it makes sense, eh? Or we do it the German way. Communities wachukue hizo clubs. Unajua venye wanafanyanga hata hadi Bundesliga. Tufanye hivyo.
Because you know, once a community takes over the club, a community can even go to a sponsor representation.
Yeah.
A good presentation, tell the sponsor the advantages of sponsoring our team, nini nini. It becomes community based. Still under the federation, but community based. There's that, or take nitoa tax yangu na mimi make sure manze the future of my daughter iko in safe hands in terms of football, in terms of basketball, in terms of volleyball, in terms of tennis, in terms of any sport that women will be involved, so that tusikuwe na story officiating match officials or lipwi in women's sports.
Well, that's what I'm also wondering, because match officials
in the Women's Premier League and in the KPL,
like it needs
Both.
they need to go to the higher ups.
unajua
Like people need to take that initiative and
wanafaa tu amue wote
Eh.
go down go slow, amue tu leo atuingi job and put up a demonstration, because it's unfair that you're working.
But you see, you say that, Hezbon, and I agree with you, but what you just told us earlier on is the fear of anyone who's unemployed being blacklisted.
Because you see the people
Again, there's someone who sleeps somewhere at night knowing that I'm a blacklist, mtu hawezi pata mkate yake. People are terrible.
no kitu nasemaga ni I think our league inafaa kuwa, unaona vile EPL it runs on its own, it's an entity, it's like a corporate, it can't
But
survive, you see,
but
it's not run by the FA.
but you see, the thing is, technically,
Bro, we sorry, go on.
technically, this is something which I keep reminding people. teams are supposed to be privately owned. You're either community based or you're a privately owned team, a corporate team like the Tuskers and all. But there is a certain aspect of these particular leagues that the FKF has responsibility over, which is why I'm saying for the women's league, unless they decide and go the German way, and you decide Kayole Starlets near Kayole, this is how much we need to be contributing for our team moving forward. Hata kama ni 50-50 bob kila mtu ni team yetu ya community. How can it move that team forward? And then FKF intervenes where they are required to. But for me, when I look at it, I don't feel like FKF even bothers.
And you see, they have a women representative in that Nene who was duly elected. And she's seeing these, she's witnessing our women suffer, women go 11 months without pay. It's so heartbreaking that tunaka up and someone is out there 11 months, amecheza 90 minutes, and this is someone that's training every single day. They're supposed to go to training every single day. Alafu there is someone anakula mshahara sitting in an office, anazunguka hivi vile nazunguka sahi.
And then you blame such athletes wakipata an opportunity in another country and they even change their nationality.
I would.
You can't blame them.
I would. If it was my daughter, ningemwambia very fast.
It is mental. And yet it is our taxpayers' money that pay the federation, that pay everything that happens in the country. So why should our taxpayer money not help in those?
Alafu 800 million ikakuwa budgeted for City Stadium. You can imagine what 800 million can do to run our Women's Premier League. That will be enough. I'm telling every player will get paid
800 million, so that's 10 years. Ukiwapatia 10.
Because you can the Kenyan Premier League ilikuwa sponsored with I think around 1.something billion for 10 years. That's the sponsorship, the main sponsorship at the Kenyan Premier League.
Well, that's what I'm telling you.
What can 800 million do?
I don't feel like even the FKF does
18
anything.
10 years clearly. 80 million per season in 10 years. Hiyo itasaidia isoya the league ile hakuna.
That's what I'm telling you. I don't feel like the FKF does anything to push the women's football.
Because they're not even marketing it. They're not even
They're not selling
having
it.
a conversation
to corporates.
You can look at the FKF Women Premier League pages online.
Well, there was a meeting yesterday between the FKF president Hussein Mohammed and 700, local football leaders. I have no idea what that means. That sounds like.
I doubt even if they touched on women's football. I doubt.
I'm sure they must have touched, because that would be so bad if they didn't touch on it.
Because you tell me, Joe. Other than the fact that we are sportsmen and women, we are like in the sports industry. If you are not sports industry, you can ask your brother if they have ever come across the women's page, the FKF women's page, Women Premier League page online, Instagram, TikTok, anywhere. There is no content. There is nothing absolutely about the women.
We are fortunate enough that we work in this upper Sport FM, and that we can highlight this. If there was no station that is talking about sports 24 hours 7 days a week, hii representation ingetoka wapi? Hiyo story geisha tu hivyo. So now we are here to speak we are the voice of the voiceless. Let us make changes in women's football. Let us be gender neutral in everything we do. 0733222105 is our number. Also you can call us through 0748999111. When we come back, more sports, but we want to hear from you, especially as a lady footballer in Kenya. Call us, tell us the other issues that you guys are facing. Ese kila mtu anamchekelea, saizi kila mtu anamuingilia. She can't even talk to us about it. You tell us, anonymous. You don't even have to tell us your name. Just give in a call or write a message. Tell us what you're going through. And for other clubs that are being supported, for other clubs that Ese was talking about in terms of how we can make the women's football better, shame on you for going after her. Mnatetewa.